Hi, West Texas. Burt, Sempier here, and welcome into, believe it or not, episode 40 of our VCast series, Chat with the Chief, with San Angelo Police Chief Travis Griffith. Chief, as always, thank you for coming in, and it's great to be with you.
It's my pleasure. It's amazing to make 4-0, man. That's a long road with some great company.
So, absolutely. Yeah. Great company sitting with you every week as well, or every other week. Yeah. And over the course of 40 episodes, we've had a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah.
We've spoken about a lot of serious topics that are near and dear to the heart of the residents of San Angelo. We've spoken about the inner workings and some of the successes and challenges SAPD faces. So it's been fantastic. And again, just thank you very much for always being here.
It's my pleasure, and it's always fun to be here.
And you're in some red, white, and blue, so you're ready to celebrate the United States' 250th birthday this weekend.
250, man. It's amazing, and I'm excited. Go America, right?
Absolutely, yes, go America.
Especially with soccer going on right now.
Yes, absolutely, and they play later this evening. That game will be on Fox West Texas, so there's a little shameless plug where you can watch the United States hopefully move on to the round of 16.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, July 4th here in Texas will always be synonymous with the deadly raining and flooding that swept across the state. We know all about the 27 people that were killed at Camp Mystic down in the Hill Country, mainly young girls. Here in San Angelo, the storms claimed the life of one person. When you think back to July 4th of 2025 and everything SAPD had to endure, other law enforcement agencies here in the area, what the residents had to go through, but also pulling together, when you think back, what really comes to mind, Chief?
Yeah, first and foremost, I mean, when I think of that, I think about like what they're still currently going through, right? So my thoughts and prayers are with them, those that are still experiencing difficulties through the flooding currently of their houses and stuff, and then those that have lost loved ones here locally and in the Hill Country. So when I think back to that day, that morning, the early morning hours for us, I think about how proud I am of the men and women of the San Angelo Police Department. They showed up. They went through some really tough times, and we responded really, really well as a community with the fire department and the sheriff's department and DPS, the San Angelo Police Department. We were all able to come together and function so well. I think a lot of props goes to Judge Lane Carter and to the mayor, Tom Thompson, in that time, Cameron from the United Way, everybody that stepped up and helped in so many just amazing ways that altered the course of their whole lives for that time frame to help make sure that we had what we needed to get the job done. They took care of the first responders and the citizens, and I just can't say enough about how proud I am of our people to be able to do such an amazing job and such a difficult task under the circumstances.
I think if there is maybe a little bit of a silver lining, other than realizing just how this community pulls together through tough times, it's that maybe in a way the storms kind of opened the eyes of first responders across the area in terms of, while it is very rare to have seen an event like we did, we need to be better prepared for it. Just recently, the San Angelo Fire Department received a donation so all of their firefighters can be outfitted with water rescue gear. We saw the video out of Wall of the first responders saving a person, I believe it was a motorist, who was dragged into the floodwaters. What do you think the SAPD and U.S. Chief learned from having to deal with the storm and the aftermath of the rain?
Yeah, I think they're great questions. And so, for first and foremost, I think we were able to, during that event, be able to show that we were more ready than most. And so the planning that the previous emergency managers, Jerry Huffman and that Jose is such an amazing guy, works with the emergency manager for both the county and the city, kind of a dual employee. What they had, the groundwork they had laid, helped us be able to respond better. And then, of course, you can always learn from these types of events. And so we have been working on how can we have a better emergency management approach? How can we have a better incident command approach? What can we do to make sure that we, not only with dangerous, flood weather events, right, but what are we doing to mitigate risk in other areas? And so that's where it's caused us to really deploy the incident command strategies in more urban, complex areas. And so that's where I think we've really been doubling down on that concept.
A lot of times when natural disasters hit, there are communities that get lost in the shuffle in terms of their stories getting out. What happened in the Hill Country, and rightfully so, got a lot of national media attention. But in the days after the flooding, and because the Concho Valley was hit so hard, Governor Abbott paid a visit to San Angelo and wanted to see firsthand just how bad the devastation was here in our area.
Yes, sir.
What did it mean to you to know that the governor knew exactly what had happened here too, and that even though the Concho Valley may have been lost in the national mainframe, that the governor was here and realized and knew that this community needed support?
Yeah, I think it highlighted the level of devastation. And I think it also highlighted that how well as a community we had responded, right? So not only just the frontline officers and the firemen, but like as a whole, having the COAD and a lot of other people in place to be able to respond to this really helped San Angelo shine. And I think he even stated that it was the best response and what kind of the example of what it should be. I think a lot of things lined up for us, the pre-planning and having the right relationships in advance and having the ability to be able to work through complex issues because those relationships were already there. The egos were really set aside, and to be able to do that in the heat of the moment, it really helped San Angelo shine. But to speak further to the point, I think it just showed that Texas saw that there's a lot of devastation here, and that they were able to get that designation that really helped a lot of people, and to show that we weren't being lost in the mix. Again, like you said, rightfully so. There's a lot of stuff that happened down there, but that there was from the state level, they cared across the board of the impact.
You mentioned the response from city and area leaders. It's us, not me. Do you still feel that connection with everyone throughout the area, that God forbid another disaster was to strike, that you can have a similar response in terms of everyone knows what they need to do, and it's a group effort, not what my agency or that agency can do?
Yes, sir. I think it's better. You know, there's not a whole lot of great stuff, if you will, that comes out of situations like this. But one thing that definitely was highlighted was the development and growth of friendships and professionalism and respect for one another. So I think that is going to make us even better in these terrible situations. And all we can do is plan for the worst and hope for the best. And I think whenever we give the glory to the Lord, because I think a lot of those things happened in that way just by the grace of God. And so thankfully, as we walk through anything in the future, I think those relationships are going to pay huge dividends.
Let's switch gears a little bit and onto a more positive note. Saturday is July 4th, and as we said at the top, people will be celebrating America's 250th birthday. And a staple of July 4th celebrations are fireworks, and people either getting together to watch a fireworks display put on by a city or a town, or some people that like to venture out into the street or the backyard to shoot off fireworks. But don't be doing that within city limits of San Angelo, right?
That is correct, yeah. The fireworks actually, we can have fires, and people will continue to have those fireworks late into the night, and it is just a huge problem, and it's hard for us to be able to respond to all the different other calls for service when we're trying to respond to all the firework calls. But we encourage people to go out to the Pops concert, right, on the 3rd, and then out to the lake on the 4th, and celebrate responsibly. That's what we encourage.
Hey, nothing like a responsible celebration.
Yeah.
If you or a member of SAPD was to see someone with or shooting off fireworks, what kind of maybe fines or other ramifications could that person face?
Yeah, so I mean, a lot depends on what all you have, but if you're using them, but I mean, you can get a citation. We collect those fireworks and seize them, and so then you're out that money, and then you're out the money of the fines of the citation. So ultimately, we just kind of tell people, use the much larger and prepared and fire is on scene for these other large, fireworks displays. So we encourage them to do that.
I know this isn't technically maybe your purview, but it could be a concern with, even though we had a wetter than normal spring, it's been hot now for, West Texas summer is here, and it's dry and it's windy, and all it takes is one person doing something wrong, and there could be a significant issue, a grass fire or a roof catches on fire.
Yeah, and that's one of the big concerns, regardless of how much rain we've had in town. If you set off a firework and it goes onto a house, where a lot of times on the eaves and those different places we'll have leaves that have died, right? So they're gonna be green, and that can cause a fire real quick. And so that's why we have those ordinances. It's not just because we're trying to be Debbie Downers, right? It's because they have major implications of issues inside the city limits for fire and police.
Sure, and those fires certainly seem preventable.
Yeah, yes, and Smokey the Bear would tell you not to do that.
Yes, Smokey the Bear would say only you can prevent forest fires, or in this case, wildfires or roof fires, absolutely. Last one here for you, and I know you are not a huge fan of talking about yourself, but I always believe you give credit where credit is due, and last week you were down in the state capitol in Austin, and you were recognized at the State of Texas Law Enforcement Achievement Awards. Since your time as chief, you have secured millions of dollars in grants to help the department buy new equipment and other important items. You've partnered and increased the partnership with the Tom Green County Sheriff's Office and Texas DPS. You've made being transparent with the residents one of your key priorities. And in my experience, I have covered more press conferences from SAPD during your tenure than before you had taken over. And you have been honest in terms of we need help in terms of manpower, and you've been starting police academies and trying to get people to join SAPD that are looking from a change that already have law enforcement experience. What was it like to be honored at the state capitol by the state and your peers in law enforcement?
Well, I was taken back, and I have been thinking about this all weekend because I didn't know exactly what the award was going to entail, and I want to say thank you to anybody that put me in for that. I honored, and I don't know that I feel worthy of that, but I do know that my team and the men and women that are out there responding to calls and doing everything that they do day in and day out. The commitment from our supervisors and to the detectives that are out there. There's just so many people out there that are helping complete the mission that is the San Angelo Police Department. I think it meant a lot to me to know that the work that we're doing is valuable, right, and that it is making a difference, and we're seeing a change for the better. And so that to me was it touched me. And at the end of the day, I know that the more that we can develop our people and continue to push to be the best that we possibly can, we're imperfect people in an imperfect world, but the more that we can strive for the best work output that we can, then the better that this community will be, and the better that the results from law enforcement will be. And ultimately, that's what I hang my hat on, is that we're striving to be the best we can for the people that we serve here in San Angelo.
And you did not have to make that 7-hour round trip by yourself. You had Judge Lane Carter with you and San Angelo Mayor Tom Thompson with you. What was it like to be able to have two people that you work with closely and whom support the SAPD right there with you at the state capitol?
Yeah, I was honored that they were able to come down, and had some, that was what's allowed on the floor. There were several other people, my family, the city manager, Daniel Valenzuela came, and some of my command staff. And so it was good to be able to have them to celebrate. But again, I can't say enough about those relationships. Going back to the first part of your segment, there is that the relationships that have been built, especially in the fire, right? I mean, in the fire of tough situations, we have been able to really get to know each other and see the outcomes of the floods and all the stuff that happened. So with Lane and with Tom, to be able to come down and show their support as a community, it really meant a lot to me.
We went down the list of things that you were being recognized for, growing the ranks of SAPD, being able to secure all this grant funding. What's next for you in SAPD? What is maybe among your top priorities? I'm sure some of them are still the same from the first day you took office.
Yeah. I mean, number one, just trying to get the right pay for our people. Right? I mean, that's still going to be the big thing we're pushing on to make sure that we retain our officers. That's one of the things that people say, well, the salary's not bad, but what we're trying to do is make sure we don't have the turnover that we've had for years and years and years. This morning I met with a bunch of retirees, and there's a reoccurring theme, and that's kind of what we're trying to break. So that'd be the first one, is to make sure that we get to pay for our people. And then some of the equipment, but ultimately focusing on things like family violence and crimes against children, and being able to move past our bandwidth. Our bandwidth as a department's been isolated because we had such a hit on our staffing, right? So the more that we can expand that and get back out there to make impacts in even more powerful ways, that's what we're going to shoot for.
Well, hey, you've got that fight in you, so
Yes,
if
sir.
anyone can accomplish it, I'm sure it's you, Chief.
Yes, sir. With the power of the Lord and a good team, we'll get there. Yeah.
As always, any final thoughts before we wrap up episode 40 here of our VCAS series, Chat with the Chief?
Yeah, there's different statements, or the Bible talks about for everything there's a season. There's songs that talk about for everything there's a season. There's stuff that talks about that this too shall pass. We're celebrating this time in the country. We're celebrating, the honor I just had was really nice, but the good and bad in life, this too shall pass. So enjoy the good while it's good. So if you're watching and you're having good stuff in your life, awesome, praise God. And if you're going through bad times, hold fast, because the different season's on the way. So as we prepare and we look at and we train, we do, right? That's one thing we do in the good and in the bad. We hold fast and we let iron sharpen iron, because on the outside of this, the outcome will be we're a better, stronger community when we hold fast to those principles.
All right, well said, Chief. All right, San Angelo Police Chief Travis Griffith, as always, a great pleasure to sit down with you.
It was an absolute pleasure being able to do this with you for 40 episodes.
Absolutely. 40 episodes in the book, and that'll do it for episode 40 of our VCAS series, Chat with the Chief, featuring San Angelo Police Chief Travis Griffith. I'm Burt Sempier. We'll see you next time.